The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, shattering the quiet hum of Alex's New York apartment. It was his mother's number, one he hadn't seen light up his screen in over a decade, since that fateful night when he came out and was promptly shown the door. "Alex, honey, it's Mom. We'd love for you to come home for Christmas this year." Her voice trembled through the speaker, but deep down, Alex wondered if the invitation was laced with the same poison that had driven him away. He stared at the message long after the call ended, his fingers hovering over the reply button. Why now? After all these years of silence, of pretending he didn't exist? Alex had built a life here, far from the stifling suburbs of Ohio, where his father's stern gaze and his mother's tearful pleas had once equated his love to a sin. He was 32 now, a successful architect with a portfolio that spanned skylines, and most importantly, he had Ryan, his partner of 5 years, the man who made mornings feel like promises. But the pull of family, that insidious thread woven into his bones, tugged at him. What if this was redemption? What if they had changed? Ryan noticed the shift immediately when he walked in from work, dropping his bag by the door. "You look like you've seen a ghost," he said, wrapping his arms around Alex from behind. Alex leaned into the warmth, but his mind raced. Should he tell Ryan? The man who had held him through nights of recounting the rejection. The one who reminded him daily that chosen family was real family. "My mom called," Alex finally murmured. "They want me home for Christmas." Ryan's hold tightened, a silent question hanging in the air. Alex's thoughts swirled. Was this a trap, or a chance to heal the wound that still ached in quiet moments? That night, as they lay in bed, Alex's mind wouldn't quiet. He remembered the day he turned 18, packing his bags under his father's unyielding stare. "We can't have that here," his dad had said, voice like gravel. "You're choosing this path, so walk it alone." His younger brother, Tommy, had watched from the stairs, eyes wide but silent. Tommy, who was only 12 then, idolizing Alex but too young to understand. His sister, Emily, had cried, begging him to just pretend, as if his heart could be toggled like a light switch. And Mom? She had whispered apologies but ultimately stood by Dad's side. Alex had fled to the city, scraping by on odd jobs until his talent bloomed. Now, with Ryan's steady breathing beside him, he wondered if going back would unravel everything he'd mended. The decision gnawed at him for days. At work, sketching blueprints for a new high-rise, his lines blurred as memories flooded in. Why invite him now? Financial troubles? Guilt? Or something worse? Pity? Alex's success had been hard-won. He'd put himself through college, built a network from scratch. Ryan urged caution over dinner one evening. "Babe, they've had years to reach out. What changed?" Alex snapped back, defensive. "Maybe they have. People do change." But inside, doubt festered. Was he seeking approval from ghosts who had long forsaken him? Finally, he texted back, "I'll come." The response was immediate. Emojis of hearts and Christmas trees from Mom. A stark contrast to the cold shoulder of yesteryear. Ryan agreed to join him, though his eyes held worry. "I'm with you no matter what," he said, squeezing Alex's hand. As they booked flights, Alex's inner turmoil intensified. What if Ryan saw the raw edges of his past? What if the family rejected them both? The flight to Ohio felt like descending into a forgotten chapter, the plane's hum mirroring the buzz in his chest. Landing in Cleveland, the rental car drive to the old neighborhood stirred ghosts. Snow blanketed the familiar streets, but Alex felt no nostalgia, only a knot in his stomach. "You okay?" Ryan asked, glancing over. Alex nodded, but his thoughts screamed. This could be a mistake. Why am I here, chasing echoes of love that never was? Pulling up to the house, lights twinkled from the windows, a facade of warmth. Mom opened the door, her face lined with age, pulling him into a hug that felt both genuine and desperate. "Oh, Alex, you've grown so handsome." Dad stood back, offering a stiff handshake. "Good to see you, son." Tommy, now 24, clapped him on the back, and Emily enveloped him in a squeal. Ryan was introduced as my partner, and the room tensed just enough for Alex to notice. Dinner was awkward small talk. His career, the city life, but underneath, Alex sensed an undercurrent. Why the invitation? His mind raced with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. As the evening wore on, Tommy pulled him aside. "Man, it's been too long. We missed you." But his eyes darted, avoiding the elephant in the room. Alex pressed gently. "Why now, Tommy?" After all this time, his brother hesitated, then shrugged. "Just family, you know?" But Alex didn't know. Inside, he battled the urge to flee, to protect the life he'd built from this potential shattering. Bedtime brought no relief. In the guest room with Ryan, Alex whispered his fears. "They seem different, but I can't shake it." Ryan held him close. "We'll figure it out together." Yet Alex's thoughts spiraled. Am I fooling myself, hoping for acceptance that might never come? The next day, Christmas Eve, the house buzzed with preparations. Mom baked cookies, Emily's kids ran around, but Alex felt like an outsider observing his own history. Dad cornered him in the garage. "Proud of what you've made of yourself, Alex." "Really?" The words landed like stones. Too little, too late. Alex's heart ached. Why couldn't you say that when it mattered? Lunch brought the first crack. As they sat around the table, Emily's husband made an offhand joke about city folks and their lifestyles. His laugh too forced. Ryan stiffened, but Alex shot him a look. "Don't engage." Inside, though, rage simmered. Why come back to this? To prove something to people who had already judged him unworthy? Mom changed the subject quickly, but the damage lingered, a reminder of why he'd left. Afternoon walks in the snow with Ryan offered brief respite. "This place is beautiful," Ryan said, trying to lighten the mood, but Alex's mind was elsewhere. "What if they never accept us? What if I'm dragging you into my pain?" He squeezed Ryan's hand tighter, drawing strength from the touch, yet doubt gnawed deeper. Back home, Tommy confided more. "Things have been rough, Alex. Dad's business tanked during the pandemic, and, well, I've got issues." His voice cracked, and Alex's heart twisted. Tommy had always been the golden child, straight-A student, football star. Now he looked worn. "What kind of issues?" Alex asked, dread building. Tommy glanced away. "Health stuff, kidney failure. Been on dialysis for months." The revelation hit like a punch. Kidney failure? Why hadn't they said sooner? That night, alone in his thoughts while Ryan slept, Alex unraveled. Tommy, his little brother, the one he'd protected from bullies as a kid, sick? Guilt flooded him. Had his absence contributed? No, that was irrational, but emotions didn't heed logic. Why invite me now? The question echoed louder, suspicion creeping in. Was this the real reason? The illness, not reconciliation? Christmas morning dawned with forced cheer. Gifts exchanged, but Alex's mind raced. Dad pulled him into the study. "Son, we need to talk about Tommy." There it was, the pivot. "He's bad, Alex. Doctors say a transplant's his best shot." Alex's stomach dropped. "And?" Dad's eyes met his, pleading. "You're a match. We tested old blood samples. Please, consider it." The words hung heavy. A match? They wanted his kidney? Anger surged. So this is why, the invitation, the warmth, all a ploy for his body? Betrayal stung sharper than the original rejection. Inside, conflict raged. Save Tommy, or protect himself from users who only called when they needed? Ryan sensed the shift immediately. "What's wrong?" he whispered in the hallway. Alex spilled it, voice breaking. "They want my kidney, Ryan. That's why I'm here." Ryan's face paled, anger flashing. "That's manipulative as hell." But Alex's turmoil deepened. Tommy was innocent, wasn't he? The brother he'd loved, now suffering. How could he walk away? Dinner that evening was tense, conversations skirting the truth. Mom's eyes begged silently, Dad's posture rigid. Emily avoided his gaze. Alex's thoughts screamed. Am I selfish for hesitating? Or wise for seeing through the facade? The weight pressed, emotions intensifying with each passing hour. As night fell, Alex confronted Mom in the kitchen. Why didn't you tell me up front? She teared up. We were afraid you'd say no. We wanted to rebuild first. Rebuild? On lies? Hurt boiled over. You rejected me for who I am, and now you want a piece of me? Her sobs echoed his inner agony. Love tangled with resentment. Lying awake, Alex's mind stormed. Ryan held him, but peace evaded. Was family worth this sacrifice? Or had they proven again they only valued him conditionally? The revelation amplified every interaction. Tommy's grateful looks now felt loaded, Emily's hugs manipulative. Alex battled waves of guilt and fury. Save him and enable their hypocrisy? Or refuse and live with regret? The day after Christmas, the house felt like a pressure cooker. Alex avoided solitary moments with family, sticking close to Ryan, whose presence anchored him amid the chaos. But inside, the storm raged fiercer. How dare they? Using his brother's illness as bait, dangling reconciliation like a carrot. Yet Tommy's pallor haunted him. The dark circles, the fatigue. Could he really let his brother suffer? A walk with Tommy in the backyard snow deepened the rift. I didn't know they were going to spring it on you like this, Tommy admitted, voice low. But Alex, I'm scared. Dialysis is hell. Alex's heart clenched. This was the kid who'd shared his secrets, now begging for life. I get it, Alex replied, torn, but resentment bubbled. Why me? Why not find another donor? Tommy's eyes pleaded, amplifying Alex's guilt. Back inside, Dad's lecture in the living room escalated. Family steps up, Alex. That's what we do. Alex snapped. Where was that when you kicked me out? When being gay made me not family? Dad's face reddened. That was different. We were wrong. Okay? But this is life and death. Wrong? The admission stunned, but came too laced with agenda. Alex's thoughts whirled. Is this genuine remorse? Or just leverage? Mom intervened, tears flowing. We regret it every day. Please, for Tommy. Her words pierced, stirring buried longing for maternal love. But suspicion poisoned it. Regret now when they need something. The emotional tug-of-war intensified, leaving Alex exhausted. Ryan pulled him aside upstairs. This is emotional blackmail, Alex. You don't owe them. But Alex wavered. Tommy's my blood. What if he dies? Ryan's eyes softened. And what about you? Your health, your life. The conflict tore at Alex. Loyalty to past versus future. Self-preservation or sacrifice. Evening brought more revelations. Emily confessed over coffee. We all knew about the match. Dad pushed for the invite. Betrayal deepened, the whole family in on it. Alex's anger flared. So Christmas was just a setup? She nodded, ashamed. We hoped you'd see we're family again. Family? The word mocked him now. Alone in the guest room, Alex's inner monologue crescendoed. Memories flashed. Come out night, the slammed door, years of therapy to heal. Now this, demanding his organ as proof of forgiveness? Fury mixed with sorrow. I want to believe they've changed, but actions scream otherwise. The next morning, Tommy collapsed during breakfast, clutching his side. Panic ensued. Ambulance called. Hospital rush. Waiting in the ER, Alex's emotions peaked. Watching his brother wheeled away, guilt overwhelmed. If I refuse, am I a monster? But if I give, am I validating their rejection? Doctors stabilized Tommy, but stressed the urgency of a transplant. Dad turned to Alex in the hallway. Please, son, test officially. Save him. The plea hit raw nerves. Alex's mind screamed. This isn't fair. They've taken enough from me. Ryan held his hand through it, whispering support. But Alex's turmoil boiled. Am I defined by their needs or my own boundaries? As they returned home, silence blanketed the car. Mom's quiet sobs, Dad's grim face, all amplified Alex's inner war. Forgiveness or freedom? The choice loomed heavier, emotions rawer than ever. Hospital visits became daily, each one ratcheting Alex's anguish. Seeing Tommy hooked to machines, tubes snaking his arms, shredded his resolve. Hey, bro, Tommy whispered one afternoon. Don't do it if you don't want to. But his eyes betrayed desperation. Alex gripped his hand, conflicted. How can I abandon you? Yet resentment toward the family festered. They orchestrated this, using Tommy's pain as a weapon. Back at the house, arguments erupted. Dad accused Alex of selfishness. After all we've done for you growing up. Alex laughed bitterly. Done for me? You disowned me. The shouting drew Mom and Emily, tears and pleas ensuing. We're sorry, Mom cried. Let us make it right. Make it right? By carving me open? Alex's thoughts raged. Apologies mean nothing without change. Ryan, witnessing the blowout, urged departure. This is toxic, Alex. We're leaving tomorrow. But Alex hesitated, guilt anchoring him. What if Tommy dies because of me? Ryan's voice cracked. It's not on you. They rejected you first. The words stung, forcing Alex to confront. Am I still that scared teen, seeking approval? Nights blurred into torment. Alone while Ryan packed, Alex paced, mind a whirlwind. Flashbacks assaulted. Holidays alone in dingy apartments, building walls against hurt. Now those walls cracked under familial pressure. Sacrifice my kidney and health for conditional love? Or walk away, preserving self but risking regret? A midnight call from the hospital spiked the drama. Tommy's condition worsened. Rushing there, Alex found the family huddled. Doctors pulled him aside. As a potential donor, we can fast-track tests. Pressure mounted. Dad's eyes bored into him. Do it for your brother. Mom clutched his arm. Please, Alex. We love you. Love? The word ignited fury. Where was that love when I needed it most? In the waiting room, Emily broke down. We were wrong about you being gay. Society's changed. We've changed. Alex's heart wavered. Is this real? Or manipulation? Doubt intensified, emotions surging like a tide. Ryan arrived, pulling Alex close. Whatever you decide, I'm here. But Alex's inner conflict peaked. Save Tommy and heal the family rift? Or refuse, affirming my worth beyond their needs? Dawn brought clarity, or so he thought. Agreeing to tests, Alex felt a mix of relief and dread. The family rejoiced, hugs abounding. But inside, betrayal lingered. This joy stems from my surrender, not acceptance. During the blood draw, thoughts overwhelmed. Am I buying love with my body? The needle's prick mirrored his pain. Post-test, waiting for results, tension thickened. Tommy improved slightly, but urgency loomed. Dad's gratitude felt hollow. You're doing the right thing, son. Alex snapped internally. Is it right, or just convenient? As evening fell, Ryan voiced fears. What if complications arise? Your career, our life. Alex's guilt deepened. Am I risking us for them? The emotional weight crushed heavier, every breath laced with turmoil. Forgiveness teetered on a knife's edge, sacrifice demanding its toll. Test results confirmed the match, sealing the family's hopes, but fracturing Alex further. It's perfect, the doctor said. Dad pumped his fist. Mom wept joyfully. Tommy smiled weakly from his bed. But Alex felt hollow, a vessel for their redemption. Inside, rage boiled over. They've won again, taking what they want without earning trust. Confrontation exploded that night at home. This isn't about family, Alex accused. It's about using me. Dad retorted. Everything's about you? Tommy's dying. Voices rose, old wounds reopening. Mom begged peace. Emily mediated futilely. Ryan stood by Alex, his support a lifeline amid the storm. In the chaos, Tommy called from the hospital, voice frail. Alex, if it hurts you, don't. But the plea only amplified guilt. How can I deny you life? Tears streamed as Alex hung up, emotions cresting like never before. Alone on the porch, frigid air biting, Alex's mind shattered. Years of rejection replayed. The slurs, the silence, the erasure. Now they demanded his essence, cloaked in love. Was this karma or cruelty? Self-loathing surged. Am I weak for considering? or strong for questioning. Ryan joined him, wrapping a blanket around. "We can leave now. Say no." But Alex's voice broke. "I love Tommy. But them? They only want me when useful." Ryan's eyes filled. "Then choose us. Choose you." The decision crystallized in agony. Next morning, Alex gathered the family. "I won't do it," he declared, voice steady despite the quake inside. Gasps echoed. Dad's face contorted in fury. "You're killing your brother." Mom collapsed sobbing. Emily pleaded, "Reconsider." But Alex stood firm. "You rejected me for loving Ryan's way. Now, I reject being your tool." Tommy's call came immediately, heartbreak palpable. "I understand, bro. I love you anyway." Those words pierced deepest, sorrow overwhelming. Had he doomed his brother? Or freed himself? Packing to leave, emotions drowned him. Guilt, relief, grief intermingled. Ryan drove to the airport, silence heavy. Alex's thoughts screamed. Was this right? Family's plea versus self-respect. Boarding the plane, Alex glanced back at Ohio shrinking below. Home? No longer. But the wound festered raw, questions lingering. Back in New York, normalcy resumed, but shadows haunted. Tommy's updates via text, worsening health, fueled nightmares. Had he chosen correctly? Love demanded sacrifice, but at what cost? Months later, news came. Tommy found another donor, recovering. Relief washed, but bitterness remained. The family's silence post-refusal confirmed their motives. Yet doubt persisted. Did refusing make him the villain, or the hero of his story? Was Alex justified in denying the transplant to a family that only reached out for his sacrifice, or should blood ties compel unconditional aid regardless of past betrayals?